Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, I would like to show off something that I got for Christmas this year. Well, technically last year, as this is 2024, and I got this in 2023. But this is, I suppose, a spiritual successor to the other vinyl videos that I've done exploring my collection. As part of my Christmas gifts for 2023, I got this very special vinyl record for A Charlie Brown Christmas, which is the musical soundtrack to one of the most famous, if not the most famous, holiday special in the US. A Charlie Brown Christmas, for those that don't know, is an hour-long TV special created by Charles Schulz, the cartoonist creator of the Peanuts comic series. With this album, I did get a book of highlighting the various characters of the comic strip. I'll explain the comic strip as we walk through the book. So, does it say in the beginning? Yes, it does. In a large way, not really. So, Charles Schulz was the creator of the Peanuts comic strip back in the 1950s. The strip debuted, I believe, in 1951. And it went all the way until Charles Schulz passed away in the year 2000. And the comic strip was massively popular, becoming syndicated. That means published in newspapers outside of, on a national level, outside of the local level and on the national level. And to this day, Peanuts merchandise continues to be sold, and Peanuts comics do run as reruns in many newspapers. The central character of Peanuts is Charlie Brown, who is the relatively mild-mannered and well-meaning neighborhood kid. Along with Charlie Brown, there is Pigpen, the kid with the perpetual cloud of dirt around him. Lucille Van Pelt, who is the neighborhood bully, I would say. She's also the neighborhood psychiatrist, which is a little precocious for a 6-year-old. but so be it. Lucy's younger brother is Linus, who always has his security blanket, and is frequently the most religious or superstitious of the group. This book is filled with a large number of comics going through the history of Peanuts celebrating Christmas. We next have Peppermint Patty with her friends Marcy and Franklin, who attend a different school as the rest of the kids. Peppermint Patty is the tomboy of the group. I'm trying to find these characters. Next we have Sally, who is the younger sister of Charlie Brown. Who is a little naive and a little hopelessly in love with Linus. We also have Snoopy, who is Charlie's beagle, and Woodstock, who is Snoopy's friend. There's Schroeder, the pianist, who is obsessed with Beethoven. We have Marcy, the more feminine counterpart to Peppermint Patty. And here's Franklin, who is, I believe, one of the first characters of color in comics. I believe canonically he is black. And then Spike, who is Snoopy's brother. I bring this book up mostly to introduce the characters and the theming of Peanuts and its association with Charlie Brown. However, if you want me to go through these comics in more detail, please let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to go through it much slower. But from the beloved comic series, and in fact, as part of the belovedness of the series, we have the Charlie Brown Christmas special, which was a Christmas special, obviously, that told the story of the characters in Peanuts putting on a Christmas play and discussing and discovering the meaning of Christmas. Charlie Brown has many questions and concerns about the balancing of the commercial nature of the holiday with all the gifts and the spending, with the more traditional, calmer roots of the holiday. And while Lucy tends to be a bit more cynical and offers more of a acceptance route towards the commercialization of the holiday, it's ultimately Linus that convinces everyone that the simplicity and the religious message of the holiday was what Christmas is all about. Now, obviously, this being a story from the 1960s, this was a little less controversial. Nowadays, less religious, but still spiritually important explanations for Christmas would have held, or would have been more likely to be included in the end message. But it is still an important piece of media in the Christmas movie genre, if you will. And I simply adore it. But of course, what I adore most about it, year in and year out, are the music pieces that were largely taken from existing Christmas carols, but some of which were either reinterpreted or written originally by Vince Guaraldi. Vince Guaraldi is a jazz pianist who is famous for his and his trio's other compositions outside of those in the Charlie Brown Christmas special. I believe his song Cast Your Fate to the Wind was an award winner, although whether in a Grammy Award or other non-US award, I can't remember. Now let's get to opening it. Because this is vinyl, and because this is a special edition with gold foil. I'm trying to be careful. Interesting. It is still a single sleeve, not a double sleeve. Some albums that we've seen have a lyric sheet. Here we have a still image of Lucy and her love interest, Schroeder. In the film, Schroeder is not very impressed by Lucy's attempts to woo him. scene largely ends with, actually, it progresses through a number of variations on Jingle Bells, with him getting increasingly frustrated with her demands. But as all kids shows go, it's never really that serious. Now to the actual vinyl. Switch this to the proper side. This is incredible. This is one of a few discs that I have that aren't the traditional black color. Most of the commemorative versions of vinyl or special editions are non-black. But I get used vinyl so much that I don't typically get the non-black versions. I'm patting the vinyl down just because I've been hearing some static discharge from it, so I want to make sure all of it is gone. And I do really like this coloring of having it be a piney green, a set of greens edging on lime green and yellow. Obviously, there aren't any nicks or scratches in it because we just opened it, so I'm very thankful for that. Now, on this album, there are 12 tracks, 5 and 7. We have O Tannenbaum, which is O Christmas Tree. What Child Is This? Which is remarkably similar to Green Sleeves later in the album. We have My Little Drum, the iconic song from this album, the song that Christmas radio stations will play most frequently from the album, Linus and Lucy. The da 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 da. That song. The instrumental and vocal versions of the opening song, Christmas Time Is Here. Skating, which is, I think, the most vibrant song. Possibly in competition with Christmas Is Coming. The finale, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And then Feel Elise, which is not a Christmas song, but it is a song that Schroeder plays on the piano. And finally, an actual Christmas song, the Christmas song, which I don't believe is actually used in the official, in the actual special, but it is on the soundtrack. I'd say my favorite tracks are Linus and Lucy, obviously, Skating, and probably Christmas is Coming. The last thing I'm going to read bits of this description of the work of Vince Guaraldi. The hardest task an artist faces is not just to achieve self-expression. That almost comes by definition, even if it's difficult to hone that self-expression into something good enough to be art. It is another kind of thing altogether, and it strikes me as more difficult to look at, hear, feel, and experience somebody else's artistic expression, and then make something of your own, which shows empathy, which relates to the other, but which still has your own individual artistic stamp. This is what Vince Guaraldi achieved with his scores for A Charlie Brown Christmas. He took his inspiration from the creations of Charles Schulz and made music that reflects that inspiration, is empathetic with the image, and is still solidly and unmistakably Vince Guaraldi. It was natural for him to do this. He's been reading Peanuts for years, as who hasn't? But he brought something very special. He brought some very special talent along to the process. Vince has big ears, a wide range of feeling, and a poetically lyrical manner of playing and writing jazz music. Offstage, he's flip and funny, salty and serious, and sometimes stubborn. At the piano, he's all music, all lyricism, and all jazz. Jazz is a music of individualism. As such, it is truly a music of people, not styles. Each person develops his own sound, his own voice, his own musical personality, which, with some, is expressed only in their own playing. With Vince, the personal sound, the personal voice, and the individual musical personality is expressed not only in his playing, but in his composing as well. All the characters in Peanuts are artists, confronted with the illogical, blind, and mechanistic world. It was natural that Vince Guaraldi's music should fit so well. While that was rather heady of an explanation, it makes sense. For a way to understand the world at Christmas time. Sometimes it takes the genre bending of jazz to really get through to the heart of the Christmas season. is all I wanted to share. I'm glad we got the chance to open this album together. And I hope that this inspires you to get to listen to the music. Maybe not now in February, but once the Christmas time comes again, to watch and listen. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.